Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Tuesday, September 11th, 10:50 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. You're looking at the current European model of Hurricane Florence and its position Thursday evening, 2 days from now. And it is sizing up to be the strongest hurricane ever to hit the East Coast north of Florida by a considerable amount. It's going up against the 1989 Hurricane Hugo, which hit a similar locale with maximum sustained winds at 130 miles per hour. If this hits land at Cat 4 in this region, it will be the strongest hurricane in recorded history to hit this area. And what that means from the Outer Banks south to Myrtle Beach is areas of complete destruction. The models are showing, in some instances, this storm sitting here for 72 hours right on at this position. That would mean complete destruction to tens of thousands of homes, absolutely wiped off the map. We'll talk about it in more detail. Mangkhut becomes the fourth super typhoon of 2018 season, heading towards the Philippines. Cat 4 storm, equally as strong. Typhoon Mangkhut underwent rapid intensification and became the fourth super typhoon of the 2018 Pacific typhoon season. This happened on September 11th. The system is currently slowing down while maintaining its westerly track across the Pacific, expected to further intensify over the next 2 days. The current forecast track takes the center just north of the Philippines on September 14th, south of Taiwan on the 15th. Take a look at it from space. Heads up. This thing is gigantic. Big Earth spot here. You can see the umbra and the penumbra and the penumbral lines here. Just an amazing storm. Look at the eye wall. Fantastic. Hurricane Florence is becoming the strongest storm to ever make landfall north of Florida. I'll leave you links to this. You can read about it. Likely the storm of a lifetime for Carolinians, according to the National Weather Service. Hurricane Florence, powerful Cat 4 storm moving closer to North and South Carolina, will bring wind, waves that may be nothing like you have ever seen, said Governor Ray Cooper Tuesday. Many media outlets are calling this storm a monster. Big and vicious, extremely dangerous and life-threatening. Historic. We said this yesterday, and we implored you to get out of harm's way. If you're still there, what are you doing? Boom. I love the State Farm guy. As Monster Florence approaches, some will continue to defy hurricane evacuation orders, and these sheep will drown in an insane, hellish deluge, which if we run the European model through, starting Thursday at midnight, is going to approach Wilmington Friday morning and just sit here and destroy everything from the Outer Banks to Myrtle Beach. Look at these wind speeds. 107, 103. This is 24 hours in. Saturday afternoon, it is now offshore of Myrtle Beach, according to the European model, and moving towards Charleston. At this point, 3 feet of rain will have fallen over a region of thousands of square miles. Catastrophic flooding, complete loss of structures, loss of life. There are no good scenarios that I can find on any model. 0. Anyone staying in the Barrier Islands is all but signing their death sentence. Hurricane Florence is a monster bearing down on a direct hit on the coast, but not everyone is fleeing as the storm approaches. Among those who are staying put, despite evacuation orders to over 1 million people throughout the Carolinas and Virginia, is John Wright, a retired idiot from New York who plans to board up his windows, hunker down, and drown in a nightmare. This is no joke. If you're in any of the region in the white zone here and you plan on staying, you might be the dumbest person on earth. There are no good scenarios with the storm. Here's the current track pushing it further south into South Carolina and lingering here for days up until Monday, dumping up to 3 foot of rain all the way up to West Virginia. This is the current 6-day rain totals. Over 20 inches in the purple zone. That is the zone of evacuation. 20 plus inches, up to 4 feet of rain is predicted to fall in some of these regions. And that's not the total extent from the storm. Here are the current inundation zones. Pamlico Sound, Kinston, Greenville, Jacksonville, Havelock, New Bern. You're going to be under 9 to 12 feet of water. Any region in red, get out if you're anywhere near these estuaries. It's going to be complete inundation in these zones. And if the storm sits here, it's going to be way worse than they're predicting. Jacksonville, all of these inlets and harbors, Wilmington, you're going to have epic flooding. And if it continues to move south, these are only going to all turn red all the way through Myrtle Beach and Long Bay, maybe even down to Mount Pleasant and Charleston. We'll have to watch on what happens when the storm makes landfall in the next 36 to 48 hours. Or if it just sits off the coast for 3 days, in which case it will be a disaster unfathomable. Here are tropical storm force wind speed probabilities for the next 3 days. And you could see in the next 3 days, there are thousands of square miles that are guaranteed hurricane force winds and over 5 states in tropical storm force winds extending out to the 50% probability. This storm is ginormous. That's all we'll talk about it. The shelves are emptied. There's nothing to buy in that region. Get out. If you're staying, I don't know why. Heavy rain results in cascading torrents down Spanish streets. This weekend saw torrential rain in many parts of Spain, totally flux there, resulting in rivers bursting their banks, creeks overflowing, and main streets becoming cascading torrents. Now, if you read this article, they say this creek normally floods every time this year. Yeah, sure it does. We always have hundreds of cars washing down the middle of the road this time of year. This is normal. Fortunately, there were no reports of injuries. Local residents told Spanish news agency EFE that the flooding is the worst seen in many years. Looks like chocolate milk to me. Whoa, that's a dumpster. Whew, high speed. We love this action footage. Whew. That's like class 3 right there. Is that a dude standing out there? No, that's a sign. Whew. Thank God. This guy's just on his balcony watching the entire... Oh, what a cesspool. Sign of the times, folks. It's just insane. If you're watching this video and you're hunkering down in any of those zones, we're praying for you. Nuclear power plants at risk of direct hit by Hurricane Florence. It's not the only threat, loss of life to flooding, and it's the meltdown of dozens of reactors in this area. And I shared this earlier. The operating power plants are extreme. And the storm is now moving south. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are going to be in the major harm's way of flooding and inundation. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 total in the danger zone. 15 nuclear power plants we have to be watching closely. According to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, there are 12 nuclear power plants operating in the Carolinas that make electricity by continuously splitting uranium atoms. These plants generally reside near a body of water because they require a constant source of water for cooling purposes. Without cooling, a nuclear reactor will overheat, leading to core damage, containment failure, and release of harmful radiation into the environment. So just another thing to worry about. Now, we're going to be seeing loss of power from Surf City to Myrtle Beach for weeks in this region, maybe months. It is unknown the scale of the catastrophe, except that it will be catastrophic. That is 100% guarantee. And if you're in this region and you're staying there, you are an absolute tool bag and an idiot. Seismic update. No major quakes. We have some interesting activity on the Pacific Antarctic Ridge and up in Russia here, south of the Kamchatka. We're going to be talking about why all these major storms are strengthening right now. Cat 6, climate change could cause hurricanes to strengthen more quickly. I doubt it. We've had similar storms decades ago at the same strength before you were spouting your nonsense on climate change. Let me tell you why all the Earth spots on Earth suddenly got stronger over the last 48 hours. It's called space weather and the electric universe. Everything that happens on our planet is electrically connected. Weather, geophysical activity, aurora borealis, rain, lightning, thunder, clouds, clear sky, all electrical in nature. And when you add electricity to the system, you add energy. So all this energy is now in all of those hurricanes, typhoons, and monsoons. And the solar wind is booming. There is no respite in sight to the added energy, which we are now witnessing. Did you hear about mysterious light flashes that are coming in from deep space? Guess what? AI just found more of them. Artificial intelligence has found more interesting things than humans. That's how stupid we're getting. We are being taken over by technology. And 90% of everyone watching this video doesn't know how to grow food. How stupid are you? Grow food, not lawns. Look at how stoked this dude is. Look at how stupid his neighbors are. They can barely pay their rent, and they're spending all their money on food, and this guy's like the biggest pimp in the entire world. He's got squash, corn, tomatoes, potatoes, amaranth, and onions, lettuces. This guy's got it going on. This is not where we're going. The next financial crisis will be more severe socially and politically, says billionaire investor Dalio, who's preparing his bunker right now. He says he thinks it will be more severe in terms of the social political problems, and it will be more difficult to handle. It won't be the same in terms of the big bank debt crisis. It'll be a slower growing, more constricting sort of crisis that will have bigger social implications and bigger international implications. And the New World Order has begun. Pope shocks with homily. Now this scumbag here called the Pope, why doesn't someone just blow him up? Now he claims that Satan is to blame for all the rapes of all of the innocent children. Now you see, because according to the Pope, Satan exposed the bishop's sins. And it's his fault, not the bishop's, for raping all the children. And the priests. It's Satan's fault. And he's very angry at Satan, the Pope is. This guy is the biggest Satanist on earth. If you don't know that the Roman Catholic Church are Luciferian, please unsubscribe to my channel. Take the red pill now. Grow food, not lawns. Be ready, not afraid. Stay alert. That's a State Farm boom. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. Global temps have been dropping for 3 years substantially. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.7 degrees C in 3 years. Straight down. Yeah, I know. Total solar irradiance is predicted to continue to drop off for decades. What does that mean for you? It means you need to start preparing now. It's about to get bad, and soon it will be really bad, just like in the historical past. These are the scenes of the times that are coming. This painting from 1663, the frozen Thames, is a sign of the times to come. And you're witnessing in your very lives these changes. Be ready, not afraid. Stay alert. Be safe.